Got two Ford tractors here. You got the Log Hog 3600. As you can tell, a little bit of difference there. First thing, little old bitty front axle, tie rods everywhere, steering cylinders, little dinky Pitman arm. Of course, all these battery cables and fuel lines. First thing you're gonna do when you get in the woods, tear all that off. Break all that flimsy front end out. Little old dinky spindles. Perfect for farm. Come over here. Big beefy axle. Big tie rods. A lot less steering linkages and stuff to go wrong. Got a kingpin down there with the bearing on it. That's always tearing up, seems like. Come up top, there's the top of the kingpin. John Deere got Ford beat on that. Power steering's another thing. Power steering's always tearing up. Haven't had problems with this one yet, except the bearing up there in the sector went out. Them balls that turn no tires. But my mechanic drilled a hole through the cap. Put a little nipple or something to put a hose on. This little vent up here is supposed to be venting, and evidently it don't, because we'd have to replace gaskets in the sector once a year because they kept blowing them out. But yeah, since we had that hole drilled through the cap, we may have had it blow out one more time, but it's been good so far. And this one, like I said, they ain't gave us no trouble yet. This is like probably a 4000 Ford. It's both of them 3-cylinder diesel engines. I think the 36 may be a little smaller. I don't know. But yeah, these tires, I prefer this kind of tread, straighter across. A lot of tractor tires, they come slanting more, and all it does is make it spin worse. But it seems like they don't wear out as bad on the road. And these are slanting just a little bit more, but they make up for it for how tall they are. They're about 2.5, 3 inch tall grips. I don't know if you can see, but yeah. You get a modern tractor, and you're gonna be tearing your back end out. You gotta get an old one that made stuff right. And another thing about these Log Hogs, or these Fords, you've got these little bolts right there, and they always, we're breaking them. Not only the bolt, but the little carriage around them. So most time, if it gives us trouble, we just weld them up. And of course, you got caps on your valve stem to keep them protected. Like this Ford here, it's just right there. First thing you're gonna do, knock that off. But there's a little bit of lug nut size difference. I love these fenders. They're real handy. But as you can tell, this one is like almost hitting the tire. I think somebody hung a tree with it. Where over here it's kind of wide open. And you got this little step, and that keeps you from getting hung up. Another thing, that's kind of sharp too. You got like an inch gap, so the 660s have a bigger gap, and you get a sapling hung in there, and you're stuck until you get cut off. But like I say, this is a 441 Log Hog, made by a company called Log Hog in Minden, Louisiana. Dunham Log Hog. And somebody's got oversized tires on this one, which is kind of nice going over stumps. But it's got these little hose guards, protect your hoses, and this is asking for tree to go through there, a little sapling, tear all that off. But this ain't our main everyday tractor. That's the way it came, and I'm afraid to do anything with the hose, afraid to blow out. So It's there for now. And this is a little bit newer hog. It's got this, I don't know if you can call it a foot guard on each side to guard your brake pedals and your clutch pedals. And of course this one's got the muffler on the hood instead of up in the top of the cab. The newer ones, the muffler comes up and goes up to the cab and goes out this side, I believe, and blows out the top of the cab. But we done tore that muffler off like 3 times, and I don't know if it's gonna stand welding it back again, so maybe it won't get tore off no more. And this one has a, when we bought it, it had the grabs and they was all tore off and messed up. Yeah, you can see a little size difference. Just a little bit. Maybe a foot taller. And the only bad thing about this grapple, we don't have the original cylinders, and slight bend there. No hay rake cylinder. And it's got, somebody put oversized boom cylinders. They're not supposed to be that big, but they work, and I don't care about buying no more. But somebody's this is original log hog. This is original log hog boom, and somebody has cut it off and spliced it and made it longer, and I really didn't care about that. And they added this tree pusher, which don't do a whole lot of good because your tires are backwards and you don't push much back, and you know, treads the wrong way, just spin. But we did have to replace the top of the cab. Somebody threw a tree on it, about crushed it before we got it. We bought it like that. But yeah, these two, it used to be 2 booms, and I took them off. We put this, you know, 1 boom on it, and I done all the plumbing for the grapple cylinders and the plumbing for the boom cylinders to make them work together instead of independently. So most log hogs are just gonna have 3 levers, your front blade and your 2 back tongs or grabs, whatever you want to call them. So I put the grapple on this one. So I took there was 2 90s just like the front one right here, and I put a, looks like a 3-inch nipple or something, and I put a T on it, and that made it to where I can connect my cylinders together and make them work together instead of independently. And here's the original Dunham sticker they put on there for your blade and your 2 singular independently working booms for your grabs. And there's a original Dunham tag there. I'm kind of a history nut on this old stuff anyway.